Hey everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to today's AFK journey video. So in today's AFK journey video, we're going to do a complete breakdown of the factional talents and do our very own factional talents guide to let you guys better prepare yourself about this upcoming new feature, as well as what are the different things you want to take note of, what are the different features available within this factional talent stuff, so that you can better prepare yourself for this content. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the materials or the upgrading materials. We have two different upgrading materials. Number one, we have the talent orbs, which are your EXP to upgrade the different talents. So right here, for example, if I go into the wilder side, you need to use these talent orbs to increase the skill or the nodes within the different factional talents itself. So that's for the talent orb. This orb is obtainable when you reach specific seasonal resonance level, as well as from your AFK rewards as you clear through the AFK stage itself. So it comes naturally, you don't have to buy it, you don't have to spend any money on it. So that's for the upgrading material side. And then we also have the talent essence. So these are used to activate stage 3 and stage 4 talents, which are probably the late game orbs itself. So right now we are only at the stage 1 category. So stage 3 and stage 4 is all the way down here. Right, so this is stage 3 and then this is stage 4, the final upgrades itself. So with regards to the upgrading materials, I think in terms of how it is panning out, you basically progress naturally through your AFK stages, and then with the upgrading orbs you get from progressing, you are use it to actually power up your factional talents right here. So with regards to the features of the factional talent, let's take a look at the rules over here. So this factional talent is featured in select game modes this season and allows you to deploy 2 heroes from the same faction to boost your team stats and activate a talent buff tile on the battlefield. So if you deploy 3 Celestial or Hypogean heroes, you activate the special Celestial and Hypogean faction talent effects. Okay, so this paragraph alone, right, mentions 3 different features to activate your factional talent. Number 1, factional talent is only available in a few select game modes. So far, it's in the talent trials for AFK stages. It's also available in Supreme Arena, in your Legend Trial Tower, and in terms of, I think, the Heroic Gauntlet right there, it should also be available because it's a seasonal stuff. With regards to the seasonal dream realm right here, it's not available, unfortunately, so I'm going to show it to you guys. So seasonal is not available, so let's put in the Mauler side. As you guys can see, we got 4 Mauler characters, but we don't have the tiles itself. And then if we go into the Supreme Arena side, for example, right, so this is Supreme Arena. Let's go on Supreme Arena. Let's take on this challenger right here. So when I have like my Mauler team right here, I get this tile. So this is the factional talent prime unit tile. So I'll cover this later. So this is how the factional talent looks like once you have 3 of the same unit from the same class. And if you are in a game mode where your factional talent can proc, you will be able to get the abilities as well as the stats from the factional talent nodes itself. Okay, so that's how factional talents work. 3 units from the same class, and you can only activate it in specific game modes. And one last thing is you need to activate the talents itself to get the buffs personally, right? So that's from your talent orbs. So that's for the rules, number 1. Okay, so for the Celestial Hypogean heroes, right, you need, first of all, you need 4 of them first to unlock the unlocking right here, because this is my test server account, not my Pioneer server. So I only have Rainer and Barrow and Scalita here, so only 3, so I can't even unlock the factional talent, so do take note. Anyway, with regards to this factional talent, as mentioned earlier, you need 3 of the same characters to activate the ability. So if you're not a massive whale and you don't use 3 times Celestial Hypogean characters in your team on a day-to-day basis, this factional talent may be really powerful, but may not be very applicable to you. So that's something to take note of, okay? Because later on I'll run through all the skills one by one, and I dare say the Celestial and Hypogean faction skill is actually really insane. So we will see more. So that's for the basic rules, right? During the preparation, you can place an ally on the talent buff tile, and this ally becomes a prime carrier to gain additional abilities in battle. So basically represented by the tile I showcase later. So you can put 1 unit in that tile to benefit from the prime carrier ability, which is different for the different factions. We'll run through later. And then for the talents itself, like I mentioned earlier, you can use talent orb and essence to activate the talents, get the nodes to get the stats as well as the abilities. So you can also reset your talents with the all talent orb. I mean, you can reset the talent to return all the EXP, right, from your talent orbs as well as essence from the talent tree every 7 days for free. So that's number 1. And number 2 is the talent reshaper you'll get from the seasonal rewards, which I showcase yesterday. Okay, so these are, you can actually reset the talent. So I think from a testing perspective, it's actually, I'll say, a lot more fun for you to just test out the different talents first. Not saying that you want to go all over the place, but let's say if you have a lot of different units, you don't know what to go for, what's the best for your account, then you might want to try out. And then at least there's this free talent reset every 7 days anyway, so that way you will be able to like try out different stuff. Because I think what I see right now is, because we are currently at the tier 1 side, the stage 1 side, so you need to unlock at least 40 factions across all the different factions to unlock stage 2. So there is a possibility that, you know, you have to choose between only 4 out of the 5 talents. So that way I think some people might be lost as to what to upgrade. And with regards to this part, personally, I wouldn't actually talk too much into details as to what is the best path, what path you should go for. In today's video, I'm just going to run through the abilities as well as offer how I will upgrade myself, right, based on my own account right here. So first of all, how am I going to upgrade my factional talents? I will be going with the Maulers as well as the Wilders, not considering the ability, but more so based on what I have in this test server account, because I'm mainly a Wilders and Mauler main, as you guys can see. So I use quite a bit of Maulers and Wilders, so they are the easiest to proc since I'm going to use them a lot. And most of my units will be able to benefit from both the Maulers and Wilders ability, which is why I'm going to focus on these two first. And like I mentioned earlier, you will need to get at least 40 talents across the different factions first in order to unlock stage 2. So I'll go with, I'll say, the core 4, because for the Celestial Hypogean side, since this is a free-to-play account, I don't have at least 4 heroes of the same Celestial Hypogean faction anyway. So if you're free-to-play, low on resources, and you don't have that many Celestial Hypogean, then your upgrading path will pretty much be similar to mine, right? Just skip the Celestial Hypogean because you can't upgrade them, or your Celestial Hypogean just ain't strong enough. Just focus on the main 4 and then you are good to go, right, in terms of the upgrading. Then in terms of the upgrading priority, I'll go for my main classes first. So for me right now is the Mauler class, and then I'm upgrading the Wilders class. So this is just me going by how I can maximize this talent system with whatever I have. But if you're somebody with like a really developed account with multiple good units across the different factions, then you might want to choose the factional talents, right, that maximize your team's ability. Right, so let's look at the individual prime carrier talents first before talking more about the details. So first of all, we have the Light Bearer one. So Light Bearer one is when the prime carrier casts the ultimate, they summon a shadow that casts the ultimate again. The shadow inherits only 60% of the prime carrier's attack, but 100% of their other stats, along with an extra 12 penetration. So increase in level gives you the below additional ability, and then the team buffs come from the other nodes that you get as you progress through the talent house itself. Okay, so for this ability, it's a more ultimate centric one. So in terms of units which would benefit a lot, obviously the first one that comes to mind is Iron. Lily May sounds really amazing as well. Being able to cast the ultimate 2 times to cancel out the enemy sounds pretty interesting. And for the Light Bearer side, I think Tamasia is okay. Morale definitely is also another okay unit, but she's not used a lot. Cassidy is another unit which could probably see some synergy. And I think, yeah, there is actually quite a few units that actually gets like buffed up by this double ability stuff. But for the Light Bearer side, it's a much weaker faction, and I believe not a lot of people will have a very developed Light Bearer collection. So I think this will probably be the most neglected one, even though there's a really powerful ability there. So that's for the Light Bearer factional Tau. Next, let's go to the Wilder side. So for the Wilder side, this is the Tau ability. So Prime Carrier loses 50% of their max HP and gains a permanent shield that can block up to 50% damage when a battle starts. Okay, so this is 50% of their HP, by the way. So they lose 50% of HP, converts to shield. The Prime Carrier becomes unaffected while the shield is active and gains an additional 60 attack speed. If the Prime Carrier uses range attack, their attack range will be extended to cover the entire battlefield, and the range of certain skills will expand accordingly. So increase in level increases normal attack damage to enemies more than 3 tiles away, increase in attack speed, as well as your extra projectile to the weakest enemy while the shield is active. So this talent is insanely powerful for all your rangers, obviously. So Wilder's one seems like a very ranger centric or range unit centric kind of buff, because you get extended range and you get extended damage as well, more damage and more attack speed. So right now, if I have the wildest talent active, is usually on Lily May. So Lily May comes to mind. Odie is okay as well with the additional attack speed. I think just any other carries that actually benefits from the increase in attack speed and normal attack damage is greatly appreciated. So your usual good carries, they will fit very well into this one. Okay, so next one we have the Mauler one, which is the one that I'm using. So this one is the prime carrier will teleport to the nearest area of the most enemies when the battle starts, gaining a shield equals to 45% of the max HP and immediately dealing 170% to all adjacent enemies. They then continue to do the same damage every 5 seconds to adjacent enemies. So additional shield as well as AoE damage, very suitable for the Mauler frontliner team. So this is probably very suitable for all the Shakir, Seth, as well as Brutus, and also a whole bunch of warriors that likes to be in the front line, or even your tanks itself, since they will be immune to the first fatal blow, which will buy you more time. So that's for the Mauler side of things. And then we have the Graveborn side. So for Graveborn side, we have this ability to actually select another realmost allies as a sacrifice when the battle starts. The sacrifice lose up to 5% of their current HP every second and recover 100% of their lost HP from the prime carrier. So you absorb HP from your ally, and this skill increases the prime carrier's attack, physical and magical defense by 60% of the current sacrifice's corresponding stats. So it's a stats transfer of power, increases in level, increases the HP recovery for the prime carrier when they assist or defeat a non-summon enemy, and permanently increases attack and physical and magical defense. Oh, okay, this is actually really sick. Yeah, if you want to hypercharge a single carry, if you are using the hyper carry strat with only one carry, then you have like 4 other supports, then you just put your carry on this tile and then put a support that's safe on the back line. That will probably maximize the ability of this tile. Very powerful indeed. Graveborn one seems good. Unfortunately for this account, I don't have a lot of Graveborn developed yet. Like Cecilia is this tier, Caroline is this tier. I have a Torrent that's going to be Supreme soon. So this unit will probably be the first one that I will be using actively once I get the EX weapon. But yeah, for the Graveborn side, seems really powerful. And last but not least, this is the most powerful one amongst them all, which is the Celestial Hypogean one. So Celestial Hypogean talent tiles comes at a price, obviously. Having at least 3 developed Celestial Hypogean is a bare minimum requirement, right? So I think the best 3 that you will probably be using a lot, like for your PvE stuff, will be Feresto, Talin, Reyna, for example, maybe a little bit of Scalita there. So these 3 units are probably going to be like the core 3 for most of the whales or people who have all your Celestial Hypogeans developed. So this ability, 6 seconds into a battle, every 6 seconds thereafter, the prime carrier deals 120% true damage to the area with the most adjacent enemies and stun affected enemies for 1.5 seconds. So the prime carrier continues to cast this skill as long as they remain in the battlefield. Okay, so this is also one of the reasons why the D&D comp is very strong, because this D&D is Dalinga as well as Dino. This Factional buff tile gives your Dino even more damage and control, which is seriously insane. And if you take a look at the third line upgrade, if both prime carriers remain in the battlefield, the light and dark spells activate simultaneously every 6 seconds, starting 3 seconds into a battle. The effect radius of both spells extends to 2 tiles. Okay, so this is the upgrading ability for this talent path, which I'll show later. So those are the different abilities for the different classes. So from the looks of it, I think there are certain classes that benefit the mages, the spellcasters more. There are certain classes that benefits the rangers or long range attackers more, that benefits from the increase in normal attack and normal attack damage, more so for a frontliner as well as your warrior character. And then this one is more for the hyper carry. I think Graveborn one seems the most generally versatile. I think you can use it on almost any unit for the unit to be the prime carrier. Like you can use it on a tank to make the tank a lot tankier. You can use it on a carry for the carry to hit harder. You can even use it on the support, since they can recover the HP for your ally and then give them more stats for more heals and more support for the team. So this is probably, I'll say, the most omnipotent amongst them all. So in any battle, you can only have at 1 factional talents activated anyway, because you can only have 5 units and you need 3 units of the same class to activate the talents itself. So you might want to consider which one you want to focus on, right, to use more consistently. Obviously, you can have multiple, but based on the initial progression, you will have a limit cap. I mean, you have a resource cap at one point as you progress through. So I'll say at the start, choose your most common class or your most commonly invested classes, and then subsequently, based on your account development, you can choose to branch out to other pubs in terms of priority as you move into the later stages of the game. So other than the base ability itself, as you upgrade the nodes, you'll get a whole bunch of stats represented by the sword, the shield, as well as the hourglass. So this is haste improvement, and then you get your ability upgrade, so more damage, okay, more penetration, and then this one gives more ultimate damage, so your spellcaster. And if you move lower, same thing, more stats, ability boost, more penetration, okay, more attack, okay, more energy recovery, and then further upgrade. Okay, so this extra talent tile is universal across all the classes. So you will be able to get at least 2 talent tiles after you unlock this one. So I think it should be at the back. So it should be like on the other side, mirroring this tile right here. So 2 tiles, and then just H3. Okay, this is one of the upgraded ability. Okay, so that's for the light bearer side, right? So there is this extra talent bonus tile. I think same thing for Wilder, so upgrading in stats, upgrading in ability, and you see that for the Wilder side is attack speed, right? For the light bearer side is the mage one, or is a haste. So haste is definitely more suitable for your mages compared to attack speed. So that's why I said Wilders is more for the rangers, for your rogues. So extra talent tiles. Okay, so these are the stat bonus, as you guys can see. Okay, more defenses, more HP and attack. Okay, so for the Mauler one is attack. Okay, just raw attack stat, and then there's this energy on hit, very suitable for units like Shakir and Seth. Additional talent tiles. Okay, so HP, attack, HP. Okay, attack, energy on hit, as well as HP. Okay, so seems like Mauler has a lot of energy on hit, so it's gonna be a very frontliner centric build if you decide to go for the Mauler faction talents. Oh, then Mikola's gonna see a lot more use compared to Smokey, since she's more frontline centric. Okay, so that's for the Mauler side. So for the Graveborn side, this is increased defense penetration. Okay, attack, defense, penetration. Seems like the unique stat is defense penetration for the Graveborns. Okay, so right here, HP, attack, defense penetration right here, and then attack, HP, defense, and then defense penetration here. So this one is additional talent, power up to the ability. So this is for the 3 different locks right here. So this is for the first one, this is for stage 3, this is for stage 4. Okay, so that's for the Graveborn side. Now let's go for the most powerful one, Celestial Hypogean crit. Okay, so full firepower for your team. Crit. Okay, so you have defense, HP, and attack. So pretty standard stuff, but for the unique stat boost for the Celestial Hypogean is crit. Okay, so extra talent bonuses. Okay, attack, crit, as well as HP. Okay, more crit here, and then your usual attack, HP with your skill upgrading right here. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the factional talent guide. With regards to the best upgrading path, I think it's really subjected to your own account. But if you ask me, if you have everything that's good, obviously the Celestial Hypogean ability seems the most sick and has the highest, I'll say, like damage output potential with so much crit stacking. Although if you are playing the hyper carry build, I do think that the Graveborn one is actually insanely powerful, as long as you have a way to sort of contribute HP consistently without losing one of your units. This like buff is actually really good, because if you take a look at this ability right here, right, you can permanently increase your attack and physical magical defense just from the stage 1 effect once you defeat an enemy. So maybe units like Sylvida and Nara could be a thing you want to focus on because they're able to quickly bring down the enemy and get the stacks going. For example, if you put Nara on this tile and then Nara starts killing and then she starts putting other people and then spam her killing and all these stat stacking stuff, it could be kind of insane, especially in Supreme Arena. So that's just one suggestion I have, like just some crazy idea with all this talent buff. There's a lot of different combis out there. We will take our time to slowly figure out what's the best moving forward, and I will do a Z-Best Factional talent buff once this thing drops on the global side and I have a clear picture of how to better optimize the puffing as well as what to go for the different situations out there as well as the different accounts out there. So that's it for this video. Hopefully this basic coverage for the Factional talent is helpful, and thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.